The following segment is sponsored by Eastern Title and Settlement and the Mortgage Link. We are 3 weeks into the new year, and the real estate top performers have some tips to help you buy or sell a home in 2023. So this morning, I am joined by Karen Rawlings of eXp, Megan P. Haskins, settlement attorney with Eastern Title and Settlement. But first, Kevin Russell of the Mortgage Link has your deal of the day. Our first deal of 2023. What do you got for us?
There we go. Our deal of the day today is a 30-year fixed mortgage. It's a home ready, so it's a conventional purchase. It's at least a 760 credit score, a 5.75% interest rate with 1 point, and a 5.916% APR. It's a purchase price of $350,000 and a loan amount of $339,500 after the 3% down payment.
A great deal. And Kevin, why is it so important, especially at the beginning of the year, for people to take advantage of deals like this?
Well, right now, if you go ahead and take advantage of the market right now and beat the rush of the spring market, there's a lot less competition, so you might be able to get a little bit better of a deal than you would when you're dealing with all the competition that comes with the spring and the summer later on.
Good to think about, especially like this new year. We're thinking about all the things we want to do this year. Karen, how can we buy a home with little to no down payment? I like the sound of that. That's still possible?
That's still possible. You can purchase a home right now with 3.5% down. The state of Maryland has a phenomenal program where they will pay off up to $40,000 of your student loans. So when my nephew bought his house, they paid off his student loans completely.
That's a great incentive.
Yes.
For sure.
Oh my gosh, because that always seems to be the thing, to hold you back. It's like, I can't afford a home because I still have all this debt that I'm taking care of.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then when it comes to buying and selling, are inspections still important? I know we got to a point where things were going so fast that wasn't even time to do it.
Inspections are really important. And we had one a few weeks ago, and the house was built in 1938. So I told my buyers, I said, you need not just a home inspection, you need a chimney inspection, you need a mold inspection, and then the front of the house was a little funky. So we had a stonemason come out as well.
So, it's you think of just kind of this overall, how is the foundation, but there's so much more to it.
There's so much more.
And obviously that helps the buyer. How does that help the seller to get an inspection as well?
Well, when I'm listing a property, if the property's older, we'll ask the seller to get an inspection.
Okay.
And I had one last week where I said, have the roof looked at, because if a buyer purchases your home and then they find out it has a bad roof, they might walk away. And I've had more buyers walking away from homes on home inspection.
And we know the roof is the most important but most expensive part of the house.
Yes.
We don't want to deal with that. Megan, what have you been seeing the start of the year? I know every time you guys are on here, we're kind of checking the state of the market, right? But
Yeah.
have you been seeing kind of people getting excited about a new year? And
I think people are very hopeful for the spring market. Of course, we don't have a crystal ball, so we don't
Right.
really know. But the industry has been hit really hard, but it's changing. When Karen's talking about inspections, a year and a half ago, a lot of buyers didn't have the luxury of asking for an inspection,
Right.
or else their offer wasn't going to get accepted. So they had to go as is. So it's just a lot of shifting. I'm seeing more investors still buying, and cash buyers.
okay. So as with everything, it's always kind of evolving and changing. Karen, when you have a property, how do you create buzz for it? How do you get people to really look at this property? What should we as sellers be looking for too to maybe get some more interest in our home?
Well, first we want to make the house look really good, because first impressions are really important. So we have a stager that comes in and helps the seller get it ready. We also do a lot of print and social media marketing. So I like to do the postcards and the flyers, and we do what I call an open house party. So we send out lots of mailers and postcards to get people to come. The open house we just had last weekend, we had over 100 people
Wow.
through the house. 30 groups, but 100 people. It was really busy.
A lot of what Karen does is in Olney, and I actually live in Olney too. And also, he went to high school in Olney,
Yep.
so we're all tied in that way.
Sherwood
But
graduate.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Go Warriors.
But yeah, I get Karen's mailings all the time. There's even a newspaper, all kinds of stuff. So
There's a lot that goes into it, and that's why it's important to find a good realtor. People aren't going to know that your listing's there per se, or really how great of a property it is if you all don't put in the work, right?
You have to put it out there. So
Yeah.
I have some younger folks that like his age, and, and they do the Facebook and the Instagram and Realtor.com and put it all
Right.
over social media. I do the print media, and we put up signs, and we really try to get a robust open house, because then you
Yeah.
get more offers.
It's so important. And Kevin, just real quick, as we are going into this spring season, you mentioned it at the top, but taking advantage of things now because the competition is low. What more advice do you have for people that are thinking about waiting, but thinking maybe they should get going now?
I guess what I would say is just now is a really good time to buy.
Yeah.
Obviously, no one has any crystal ball of where the rates are going to be, but even because a lot of people are projecting the rates to start coming down in the spring and the summer and things like that. But if you can get the house for a lower price and you're having to pay off of a lower principal, then your payment could still end up being cheaper just because you have less to pay off, even though the interest rate might be a quarter better.
Good to know. Some great advice from our pros here. Once again, the deal of the day is on your screen. Call now to take advantage of this amazing offer, 833-MTG-LINK, or visit themtglink.com. And be sure to follow the Real Estate Top Performers on YouTube. There you can get more advice on buying and selling a home. Thank you all so much for being here this morning with us.